day one of trying to turn random Pinterest images into musical masterpieces. It's loading. Damn, hurry up the heck. Oh. Huh. I can work with this. When I looked at the image, the first thing that popped out to me was the sheer amount of orange. As somebody with auditory synesthesia, I attribute sounds to colors and sometimes vivid images, which makes my job a little easier. Fortunately, I know of a piano that sounds just like the color orange. The image also reminds me of the game Fallout for some odd reason. Anywho, I tried a bit of playing around in that same key, only to realize that the orange light in the image isn't actually a nuclear explosion, but the sun setting. And the white powder on the ground is snow, not ash. Oops. Suddenly my mind took a detour from the Fallout inspiration and decided that the soundtrack from the World War I film, 1917, was a much better inspiration. I continued with a bit more brainstorming, which is slang for blindly pressing keys while I stare intently at the image. It sounds silly, but eventually my mind just lets my hands get to work and I cook something up. No, that wasn't an innuendo, you dirty-minded goose. Once I found a general theme I liked, I decided to try to find a way to encapsulate the foresty vibe of the image. I don't know how to explain it without sounding like a crazy person, but I get a certain sense of nostalgia and familiarity when I look at it, even though I'm certain I've never been here before. This happens to me with a lot of things, and I try my best to capture the feelings through music, but those feelings are often fleeting and hard to grasp onto vividly. Sometimes it feels like trying to paint something from memory. Attempting to materialize something completely intangible is difficult. Fortunately, I live in an age where nostalgia and aesthetics are trendy, so I have access to the visual catalysts of specific emotions fairly easily, but still, accurately converting a feeling into something you can see or hear is like trying to bottle lightning. Perhaps they're better left unbottled, left as a temporary and spontaneous pleasure that's here one moment and gone in the next. A breeze picking up a scent you haven't smelt in years, the sea humming a harmony you don't remember the name of. Maybe that's the beauty of it, perchance.
3 hours later.
So I did a little bit of off-camera mining, and I also color-coded it to match the image a bit more. I added a string section, because every song needs a string section. As Beethoven once famously quoted, "Strings are goated." I also added a very low harp playing a dinging noise every once in a while, because lower. Thanks. As I was saying, I wanted it to feel a little more mysterious and foreboding, and the harp helps with that. I also wanted to try out this reverse reverb technique that I learned about recently. You essentially take the back end of your audio of choice, slap on a healthy helping of reverb, and then spin that shit backwards. Sounds like this. Best believe I spammed that shit through the entire song. Last thing I added was this guitar. It's called an Irish bazooka or something, and it's currently my second favorite thing from Ireland. Okay, here's the song you ordered.